Warning, the following show contains content of an adult nature that is not suitable for children under 18 years old, listeners of a nervous disposition, or people who generally disapprove of a bit of naughtiness. So you lot, turn your radio off now. Have they gone? Good. Let's get on with it. Later with Anna Williamson on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
It's coming up 20 past 11. You can still get in contact with me tonight to discuss anything going on in your life. The number is 0344 499 1000. Now, we've spoken about being in relationships and finding the love of your life, which is lovely. But what happens when a relationship ends and then takes a drastic turn for the worst? Now, this is everyone's worst nightmare, surely, because right now I'm going to be talking to Dr. Charlotte Laws about revenge porn and the experience of being a mother to a victim. Just horrific. As a new mum myself, I dread to think of this. It really is every mother's worst nightmare, surely. Now, if you don't understand what the term of revenge porn means, it's for an exercise to post malicious content of you without your consent. Private content, personal pictures, explicit pictures. It is a serious crime and it cannot be ignored. It is harassment, and thankfully laws are now in place, and there really is a huge media presence now sort of fighting back against this, thank goodness. Charlotte Laws has released a book which is a memoir of her gripping revenge porn fight, taking on the most hated man on the internet, Hunter Moore. Now, her daughter Kayla became a victim to revenge porn back in 2012 when a topless selfie was uploaded to a revenge porn website run by Hunter Moore. She's been dubbed the Erin Brockovich of porn, and my goodness, she's a force to be reckoned with. Voted as one of the 30 fiercest women in the world. She's a friend I'd certainly like to have. Charlotte, good evening. Welcome to the show.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, super well, thanks. I'm so pleased to have you on. Wowzers, this book is an absolute cracker, I have to say. But obviously born from some horrific foundations. I mean, first things first, the book, I should obviously point out, is called Rebel in High Heels. Can you give a description, first of all, though, of what revenge porn is in your mind, what your understanding of it is?
Well, it's non-consensual pornography, or it's the distribution of nude or topless pictures without the consent of the victim. Mm-hmm. And as you said, I'm very happy that we now have 38 states that have passed laws against revenge porn, and I know you have laws there in the UK, and I believe Scotland just recently passed a law, so I'm glad we're moving in the right direction on this issue.
Is there still much more to do you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, what I really want to see is a federal law. Jackie Spear, one of the congresswomen from the United States, did propose one about a year ago, but nothing's happened with that so far. And I think that's very important because most of the perpetrators who do this are very afraid of law enforcement. They're not afraid of civil suits, but they're very much afraid of going to jail. And that's why these laws serve as a deterrent to the crime.
And that's what it's about. We want that deterrent in place, don't we? But before we sort of launch into sort of what happened to your daughter and sort of how you ended up taking on this crusade, the revenge porn word, the phrase, it's pretty new. I mean, had you heard of it before 2012 and these events which happened in your family?
No, I actually did not know what it was. When my daughter called me in tears to tell me that she was topless on this horrible website, I didn't know what it was. And I started doing searches on the internet, and I did find the term it had been invented by the media, and it was being used by the media. But at the time, most people in the media were not taking this seriously. They were acting as if Hunter Moore, the main perpetrator of this back then, was somehow cool, that it was the victim's fault. There was very much an anti-female attitude in our society here in the United States. And so it was very much an uphill battle for me for quite a while.
I mean, it is just disgusting, isn't it? And I am pleased to hear that, it is being taken more seriously. Over here in the UK, we have, I don't know if you're aware of the soap, we have EastEnders, and they recently covered a storyline to do with revenge porn, which, centred on one of the teenage characters that was affected by it, to do with guys in her, an ex-boyfriend that wanted to hurt her, and it was portrayed extremely sensitively, and it really highlighted this whole topic, which is why it's good that it's getting out there now, as in this is not acceptable. This is completely wrong. It's illegal, and the damage it can do on people.
Yeah, I mean, people have committed suicide, and 50% of victims contemplate suicide. Over 90% suffer severe emotional distress. People lose jobs, they lose friendships, they lose relationships, they lose their families. It's a sex crime, and it really targets women mostly. Even though there are male victims, it's mostly an anti-woman crime. And it shows that the internet is very much a new frontier for feminism. And, you know, the internet, it has traditionally been a males-only club. And the loudest and nastiest voices are often heard, and women are basically pushed away from their computers. They're oftentimes afraid to go on the internet because they're humiliated or harassed, whether it's revenge porn or just basic cyber harassment. And so, you know, these laws against revenge porn do help women bring them back to the computer where we do have free speech, because we want everybody to be able to have speech online. We want everybody to feel comfortable on their computers.
Yeah, not have their privacy, you know, splashed across it, you know, into cyberspace, which is irretrievable, as we all know, you know, to damage lives. So, if you don't mind me asking, you know, talk me through what happened with your daughter.
Well, she had taken some photos of herself in her room, and most of them were just kind of cute, like bathing suit shots, but one of them was topless, and she sent all of these photos through her email to save them on her computer. And she had no intention of ever showing these pictures to anyone. And 3 months later, her computer, actually her email was hacked, and the hacker found the topless picture and sent it to Hunter Moore, who was, you know, called himself a professional life ruiner. He was called by the media the most hated man on the internet, and he had the biggest revenge porn website that was extremely popular, where there were hundreds of thousands of page views, I believe per month, or certainly per 6 months. He had, I believe, 600,000 followers on Twitter, so he was very, very popular, and he would post the photos along with the person's name, social media link, city, and sometimes more. Sometimes you would see their father's phone number or their workplace name or the workplace email address. And so what happened was the followers of Hunter Moore's site would then harass the victim and try to get them fired and further humiliate them by tearing apart their body and saying, oh, she's fat, she looks like a whale, oh, she's cute, I'd like to have sex with her and then kill her. I mean, there was a lot of violence.
What is wrong with people? Website. I mean, come on.
So when my daughter found out she was on the site, she was an actress, but she was also a part-time waitress, and she was at her job, and one of her friends phoned her and told her that she was on there, and she was just devastated. She was in tears. She was, you know, what happens is they're like traditional rape victims. These women will oftentimes just curl into a ball and just want to hide in their room, and they don't want to talk to anybody, and that's basically what my daughter did. She called me. She did tell me about it, and I knew that she just didn't have the ability really to fight for herself, and so I knew I had to get this picture down. And it circulated. She almost lost her job at the restaurant over it. She did lose an acting job over it, so a lot of her friends found out, pretty much all of her friends. And so I started trying to get the picture down, and it was extremely difficult because the website owner refused to remove it. You know, this is the professional life ruiner. He was not interested in taking people's pictures down. He was interested in ruining lives. And so it was really a battle. And
so how did you do it?
I found out there was hacking. And I started contacting other victims on the site, other people on the site, to find out how they got on the website. And that's when I learned it was 40% of the victims had been hacked, 12% had been photoshopped. So in other words, it was their face, but it was a porn star's body or someone else's body, but people thought it was them.
Oh, for goodness.
And so that's how it all started. And then I ended up getting law enforcement involved. I contacted the FBI, and they didn't, they were not too thrilled originally about taking it, but Los Angeles Police Department had no interest in taking it, but so eventually the FBI did take the case, and he was eventually arrested. And at the same time, I was also meeting with legislators and trying to get laws passed, and we did get a law passed pretty much right after that in California, and our state was the second state after New Jersey to get a law passed, and now we have 38 states with laws against
Wow.
it.
I mean, well done you.
It was a huge battle.
I mean, A huge battle, but so worth it. I mean, what a legacy. I mean, it's from something so awful to happen to you and your family and your lovely daughter, to be able to stand up to these people and to make such an incredible impact is incredible. What advice would you give to parents? How can they protect their children? How can anyone protect themselves against these kind of acts happening?
Well, I mean, it's tough because, as I just mentioned, you don't have to take a nude picture to end up on a revenge porn website.
Yes.
Somebody can take a picture of you walking down the street and put you with a porn star and then put up all your identifying information, and your boss and your parents and everyone else may think it's you nude. So it is really difficult. The best thing you can do really is to push for laws against this kind of thing, because they do serve as a deterrent, and most of the people who, abuse women in this way, or people in this way with regards to revenge porn, do not want to go to jail. That's one thing I've really found a common thread. But there are other things you can do just to protect yourself online. You can keep the little hole on your computer where there's a camera. You keep tape or something over that so that people can't tape you inadvertently when you don't realize that they're taping you. You make sure you have tough passwords on the internet. If you do get, if anything happens and you get hacked or you get, revenge porn, a problem that comes up, then you should take screenshots of any harassment or anything at all. You should contact law enforcement. There are resources out there and support groups. CyberCivilRights.org is a website that provides assistance for victims. And there's also the Cyber Civil Rights Legal Project, which is attorneys who will come to your aid for free and assist you to get this material down. Another thing you can do is you can, now many of the companies, the corporations are helping victims. So you can submit your the fact that you were in this revenge porn situation. You can submit that to Google. You can tell Facebook. I mean, they will remove the content.
Yeah, the main thing is, the main thing is, Charlotte, is take action, isn't it? Don't sit back and let these people win. Just take
Absolutely.
action. Charlotte,
yes, because these pictures proliferate in cyberspace. They don't go away.
And you are proof as well, Charlotte. If you hit back, and you know what, you get results. So thank you so much for sharing your story, and also the book as well. It's fantastic. It really does document all of your plight with it, and goes back into your fascinating history as well. Dr. Charlotte Law's book is Rebel in High Heels. It's available from Amazon, where you can read all about her harrowing event plus the early years of her life as well. And if you've been affected by revenge porn, then please do call the Revenge Porn Helpline on 0345 600 0459 for free confidential advice. Dr. Charlotte Laws, thank you so much for joining me tonight.
Thank you.
Okay, we're staying with the revenge porn theme. We're going to be talking